Welcome to the Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Everybody, I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to the Actor's Choice, brought to you by Photography is an Art, Harvey Brandman, Master Photographer, located at 1307 North San Fernando Boulevard, Burbank, California. Attorney Ron Irwin's book, Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart. Author Larry Buford's Back to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actor Space. Roll it, Tony.
God, please. Girl, Lola, I had such a good time. I done shouted and forgot all about. Praise the Lord, goodbye. Mama, I was waiting for them to come back. What did you hang up? What is wrong with you? Lola! Hi.
Hi. I believe you left this in the church. As I was leaving, I saw it in the pew, and I looked inside and I found your address, and I thought, well, maybe I should bring it over. I hope you don't mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today is indeed a star. He's tall, lean, lanky, and healthy, has 88 IMDb film and TV credits. He's been in some marvelous historic TV shows like Cooley High in 1975, and then a character named Freddie Boom Boom Washington. He was part of the infamous television show called Welcome Back to Carter. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome veteran actor Lawrence Hilton-Jacobs. Lawrence, Larry, good to see you, sir.
I mean, you sound like Don Cornelius been introducing an act on Soul Train. And here he is, Lawrence Hilton-Jacobs.
Oh, yeah. When you announce it, you got to do.
Man, you say you went right into it, man. I was going to ask you to sell me some, dog food or something, man. You got a voice, man.
I got some questions here. We'll get to that in just a moment. I might have one here for you. Larry, welcome to the Actor's Choice. What
Thank you, brother Ron.
Over the years, my friend. What a
history. You've been
Where are you from, and when did the acting bug bite you?
I mean, I'm from New York City, where I was
You're
born
from
and
New York
raised.
City?
I'm born and raised in New York City, Manhattan.
Oh my God, the city's so nice they named it twice.
Yeah, man, and even better than that. I mean, when I grew up in the original projects I grew up with, which was the Amsterdam projects, Lincoln Center was still being constructed. That's how long ago that was. But I'm from New York City, and the acting bug is something that just always seemed to kind of float into me, even during elementary school. They always gave me the leads in the plays. They would do school plays all the time, and I'd play Peter Wolf and whoever, and so forth. And I was always putting on, I used to have our ventriloquist dolls, Jerry Mahoney and all that. So I would put on puppet shows and entertain. And it's something I learned. I didn't know that I was a producer as a kid, because back then I used to put on shows in the projects that I grew up in, the Douglas projects. But I would charge a penny. And back in the day, you can get 2 for a penny. If I made 15 cents, I was rich. So there you go. So it seems like it was just part of, not the DNA so much, but it was in me. And I went after it when I was about 14 and been doing it ever since.
See, we have a lot in common. I was born in Harlem Hospital in 1940, whatever.
Oh, man, my best friend works there right now, over 40 years, right there. I'm on 135th Street. Yeah, man.
Born, raised in Harlem, lived in the St. Nicholas Projects on 29th Street, Main
This
Avenue.
is nuts, man. My first girlfriend lived in the St. Nick's Projects, brother. Oh, Meg.
Went to Aviation High School, if you please.
As my nephew did. Wow. One of my nephews. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
My brother went to,
No, we're New Yorkers for real, man.
Oh, yeah. My twin brother went to Cardinal Hayes High School. My last wife, she went to Bronx High School of Science.
Oh, yeah, man.
All us New Yorkers, yay.
Yeah, man. New York in the house.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Now, you had a mixture of jobs, but then early schooling at Performing Arts High School.
No, I never went to, that's a mistake. I've seen that in print. I never went to Performing Arts High School. I went to the High School of Art and Design. That's the high school I went to, which is for art talent and things like of that nature. And so I don't know, the performing arts thing is because a lot of people came out of there, like Glenn Turman, and people went through the performing arts schools and all that. Irene Cara, whoever, but that was not I. And that's my history on that part there.
Okay. How about Al Fan's Theatrical School?
Al Fan Theatrical Ensemble, the Negro Ensemble Company, the
Yes.
Public Theater, the studio, Actors Studio. Went through them all. Yeah.
All right. My good friend Bob Hooks and a whole bunch of people went through that.
Yeah, Rob, that's a good brother, man, to this day. That's
Hey,
one of my guys here.
1974, Your first IMDb TV and film actor credits came in a powerful movie called Claudine. What was your role, sir?
I played Charles. I played the oldest son of Diane Carroll, who had 6 children living on welfare, trying to make it. She falls in love with James Earl Jones, a local garbage man, and she needs the commitment of man, woman, children, family. But he doesn't know how to commit to that, but he loves us and he's scared. But I, being the oldest son, has seen her go through the hardship, so I ain't trying to hear it. And I tell you, it was laughable to me sometimes when I see the scene where I'm beating James Earl up in this bar scene. I'm like, back then I must have weighed 130 if I was lucky. And James was like 200 and something pounds. He could have blew me away and I would have been cracked. But that's movies. But that was the movie. It was Claudine, and I played Charles, the militant son. A great role and a wonderful, lucky role to get at the time, because it was right in the crux of what they call blaxploitation films at the time, which are usually, Super Brothers and just a lot of violence. And we had a story to deal with. So just a nice piece of timing and a lucky flavor for me.
Got you. You had 2 other movies that year, and then in 1975 they called it Coolie High.
Coolie High, yeah.
Yes.
Coolie High came right on top of that. Back in those days, like when Claudine happened, Coolie High happened,
right?
And right on top of that, I did the Welcome Back Kotter television series. But when a movie came out in those days, it stayed out for 3 years. Wow. So Coolie High, Welcome Back Kotter, and Claudine were all out at the same time forever. So it was a lot of Larry Jacobs for a moment.
Your role, or you played the role of
Coach East. Coach East, and got some wonderful lifelong friends out of it. Glenn Turman, absolutely. Stephen Williams, Garrett Morris, I are known from New York. We stayed tight. Corin Rogers, and we're still cool, who played Pooter. And Rick Stone, who played Stone. You got to put that up in there. Jackie Taylor, just nice people. Michael Schultz, who's just one of the geniuses of the world and a wonderful friend, and absolutely one of my heroes on a real tip.
Last year with the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences at their building down on Wilshire Boulevard, you were there. I think you were there.
Oh yeah, they gave a big tribute to Michael, deservingly so. We all showed up. But Glenn couldn't be there because he was away working on a movie, but he sent his flavor, and yeah, of course, absolutely.
Get together.
It's a milestone. It's a milestone, and it was wonderful to see the movie again on the big screen. You don't watch your own things after you've seen it a few times. You just don't look at it. So it'd been a lot of years. And first of all, I said, man, was I ever that skinny? Nobody's that young, but that was me. And it was wonderful to see a new audience or a live audience again react to the movie. It was overwhelmingly wonderful.
Got you. Larry, just when you thought you had it all, a brilliant role where you were called Freddie Boom Boom Washington, and a TV show called Welcome Back Kotter.
Absolutely. Kotter was just, it was just fun. We did it for 4.5 years. We were on the air for 4 years. All of us, myself, Bobby Hedges, Ron Palillo, John Travolta, we were all new guys at the game. So we all became like one person as 4 people. That's how we approached it until people started to venture out in maybe the 3rd year of the show. And it was fun. It was a little bit, the inmates running the asylum, because they just kind of let us go free. Let me tell you how crazy it was. The first year we shot the show at the NBC studios, our producers was also producing Chico and the Man. So I saw Freddie Prinze every day. So Freddie was hanging out with us. Jimmy Walker would come by, and we were all a little bit young and had a couple of bucks. And we was riding those studios crazy. We were all over the place, running off to watch the Midnight Special being shot, or the Tonight Show, or Don Rickles had his show, Sharky was on. And of course, Red Fox had Sanford and Son. We were hanging out with all the greats. We were just overwhelmed.
How many of the original cast are still alive?
There's John Travolta, myself, and Gabe Kaplan. Ron Palillo, I get emotional here. Ron Palillo, Bobby Hedges, John Sylvester White, and Marsha Strassman have moved on.
Any chance of a reunion?
Well, not now. If they did, it'd be a strange reunion. They tried a few times to do reunions. It just didn't work out for several reasons. Sometimes the holdouts on it was myself and Travolta. We just didn't really want to do it. And so, that got, problematic at times. It would be different, because they're all gone, and we feel them. We were a family, till this day. Bobby's kids are my niece and nephews, Cassie and Mackie, and so, yeah, that would be tough.
Yeah. We just happen to have a clip. Roll it, Tony.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Woodman has agreed to teach my class. coming here to sit down, and I want everybody to think of me today as just another sweetheart.
Okay, Connor. No horseplay. Sit up straight. I've still got it. All right, now, boys and girls, take out your notebooks and pencils. What's the matter with you, Connor? You can remember everything. You don't have to take.
Marvelous. One of the best shows ever on television. Wow. Wow.
Went on, and you see all of us just having a good time together, and it was just a special moment. I've been blessed. I take it as such.
Got you. By the way, you also played Boom Boom another time in Mr. T and Tina, 1976.
See, Mr. T and Tina was a spin-off show they had done with Pat Morita and Ted Lang.
Yes.
And what they would do sometimes to make a show happen, the same producers, James Comack, they would cross them over with other shows to give it a test run to find out if it could have numbers for those shows, ratings. And so we had Pat Morita on our show a couple of times, Ted Lang, who's still my friend till this day, and Pat was until he moved on. And so we wound up being on the TNT, Mr. T and Tina show. Yeah.
When people meet you, what do they say to you?
Where's my money? No, they don't say that, man. You know, I mean, if you talk about it in terms of show business, it's flattering. I tell you what blows my mind sometimes when I see little kids who now catch the old Welcome Back Kotter show or Cooley High on TV Land or something like that, or rerun, and they just walk right up to me like it was yesterday. That takes me out. I look at this little 10-year-old looking and going, I like you in Cooley High. I'm like, you weren't even born, you know, at the time. So that blows my mind a little bit. But people are generally pretty cool. You know, they come up and they're, I take it as a high point of flattery. I'll talk to anybody. And I tell you, I learned it from Jack Nichols. No, I'm not Jack Nichols, Jack Albertson, who played on Chico and the Man when we were doing a movie together years ago. And I noticed that he talked to everyone. And I said, you talk to everybody, Jack. And he says, that's how you learn life, kid. I was 24 at the time. So that locked with me. And so I'm open with anybody. And if somebody's rude to me, I'm not going to take that because I'm the last guy that's a punk. That's out, you know. But it's all about respect, and I take it as such, and I take it as high flattery, and it's touching. You know, somebody can remember a legacy or a line of things that you've done, and it brings a feeling to them, a warmth or a wonderful memory or a good time that passed. It's pretty remarkable. It's like let's listen to an old song that you really like, you know. If somebody puts on, Walk On By or My Girl, we go right there, you know. So you know how that is. Yeah.
Year was 1977. All I have to say is one word: Roots.
Yeah, man. They had me up in Roots too, man. Playing on Noah, and I played the one of the first American-born slaves that had the militancy or the acumen in him to say, "I'm not taking this," and was going to branch out. And I happened to be the boyfriend of Kizzy, which is Kunta Kinte's only child, his daughter. And I paid for my veracity, but it was worth it. Good role. That was right in the midst of doing Welcome Back Kotter. Same producers too. David Wolper had produced the Roots thing, and Stan Margulies, who later on wound up producing the Jacksons movie that I did. So here's the world for you.
All these roles you've had, my friend. Would I be correct in saying that you hesitate roles?
I've had some nice opportunities, and thank you that they picked me to do them. And it's just fun, it's fun to do them and to get involved. I'm a real serious actor. I come from that method school of acting, and but still cordial and get along with everyone. And the opportunities have just been, harrowing for me. So yeah, big time.
Fast forward to 1992. A TV miniseries called The Jacksons, An American Dream, was being cast. And who do you think they picked to play the role of the family patriarch? Joseph Jackson?
Larry Jacobs. Yeah, man. Great role. That was one of the most complete roles I've ever had in my life because I played Joe from 20. I was 38 at the time, but I played him from 20 to 54. And so I had a whole range. And, before the kids were born, with the dating of the mother, with my dreams deferred, trying to be a singer or a boxer. And now I had these marvelous, brilliant, miracle kids, and started to live my dream through them, sometimes too much with a strong arm in them because they had to breathe. But as far as a role as an actor, it was multi-dimensional and just wow. And everybody that I knew was up for that role, a lot of great actor friends, and they were all bringing it. So it was a great coup to be able to have that, play it, and to have the legacy of it. Of course, that movie is on a lot. It is on TV like regular, series, man. It's amazing. It's a 5-hour movie, but it's on quite a lot. Pretty amazing.
Did you ever talk with Joe Jackson?
I knew the whole family to death. I knew them way before I ever knew I was going to play. I met the family back in 1975, so I knew them all. I was around them many, many, many times and been out to the house a zillion times. And on a cliff note, even dated LaToya a couple of times. You can believe that. We went out a couple of little hangouts and worked around Joe a lot way before the Jackson. My friend John Wilson worked with Joe's management company, and he would do the demo records, and I'm a keyboardist. So I would play on a lot of the demos for John. So I was always with Joe a lot. And so when the time came around for me to play Joe, I think it was a little nerve-wracking for people because they thought I would expose certain elements and secrets of the family. But no, I never did, and I never will, and I won't now. My job was to try to portray a person, a commitment, a family man, a tough love, misunderstood but directed. I played those things, and that's what it is, raising a family, and that's what it is about, making life work for me.
As you know, biopics can be very interesting, to say the least.
Well, they're involving, because it's touchy. I mean, when we were even doing the Jacksons movie, the family were on the set a lot of times. And I remember the first time when we heard Catherine and Joseph were coming down, we shot for 10 weeks, but the first 5 weeks we shot down in Pittsburgh, and we kept hearing every day that Catherine and Joseph were going to visit. And we were a little nerve-wracked at it because I'm looking at Angela and myself, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, they're going to watch us playing them. But by the time they came, we were so in to play the part, it was just nice to have him there. But the one time we got unnerved is when there was the time when Michael had gone to the burn center, and nobody told us that day Catherine was going to come on the set. So as close as this is us, and Catherine was this close looking at us, and I looked at Angela and I looked at Wiley Draper, who's playing Michael as an adult, and I said, "We're all nervous, aren't we?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Let's use that." And so we just kind of let it get into us because only they really knew what went on in that birth center in terms of emotions and what was said and so forth. So you try to play the truth, and you try to play the honesty. You don't so much as playing a real person, try to verbatim play them because you'll never get that. But you can play the flavor of who they are. You can play the heart. You can use it based on your sensibilities and filter it into the part of a role. I don't go around beating kids. I certainly don't beat mine, nothing like that. And I'm not saying that's all that Joe did, because he did. He was a real tough love man. And I talked with Joe pretty much close to when he moved on. And it was a real easy talk with him. Actually, Joe has a very soft voice. I would call him in Vegas where he was living. And I say, "Hey, Joe, it's Larry Jacobs, man." "Hey, Larry, how you doing, man? Oh, man, thanks for calling me." It would be like that. And so I understood him. I respect him. I still do. He went through a hard time to raise 9 kids, with all the odds against him. And look how miraculous they turned out.
None of them went to jail. Right?
Nobody went to jail. Nobody drugged up. Nobody messed up.
Say what you want.
They just happen to have brilliant talent. Michael is a one-of-a-kind talent. Janet is a super talent. The boys together are just brilliant. They're music royalty, and they're good family men. They raised a bunch of wonderful kids. A lot of grandkids in that family. A lot of babies. But they were cool, and I know some of them. Jermaine's son, who played his son, Jermaine Jr., is almost like my co-son. That's my dude, and we're tight still. Yeah.
As I read your IMDb record, it quietly says, quote, "Besides acting, Larry also sings, plays the piano, and writes music."
That's right. I've been doing that all my life. I've been playing piano since I was 14. I'm 66 now. I don't hide that. So what? I'm 66. That's how it is. I've done 3 albums as a solo artist. I've sang on 1 billion albums. It seems like I played on them. But the one that stands out most is I sang background on Super Freak with Rick James and the Temptations. And this is Rick, because we used to hang out those days. Rick would just call you up out of nowhere. "Hey, man, I'm doing this free session, man. Come on down and sing." It's 1 o'clock in the morning, Rick. "So what, man? Come on." So I went, and the temps there was Otis Williams, Melvin Franklin, and Richard Street, and his band guy, Levi Ruffin, and we did the background. Right. "Girls are super freak." That was us. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But I'm a musician forever. I play all the time. I played on many, many, many records with everybody from the Impressions to the Silvers to, I don't know, everybody. I just played with a lot of people.
You put out a couple of albums.
3 albums.
3 albums, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
Okay. You have right now 2 projects in the wings: Escape from Death Block 13 and post-production, and Inside 50-Year Death Watch pre-production.
Yeah, I mean, I've been real busy in the last year. Escape from Death Block 13 is a movie that I think will play on video on demand. That'll happen. I did one called A Chance in the World. I did another called Shooting Heroin, which would have been released now, but because of the pandemic thing, it's now going on to those other outlets. Yes. I'm doing a series right now, a streaming series on the UMC network, which is the urban movie channel, called A House Divided. And I played, the boss and the lead of a family that's super rich and got a whole lot of problems. And so that's going on currently right now. We're in our 2nd season, and it's doing very well. So we're lucky.
We're running out of time, but I just want to get this one in before you go. Last month, you and 3 other great actors got together for a script reading via virtual Zoom. It was called Riffs.
Yeah, man. Myself, Richard Lawson, Glenn Turman, and Ted Lang, who are buddies, but we all got together through our friend Eric Kilpatrick, and we did a Zoom reading of Riffs, which was amazing. And the turnout, including you, were there,
Yeah.
And it was just fantastic to do it. And it was our little hanging out with the boys, but also our little history, because we all known each other for 45 plus years. We all respect each other highly. It's a quiet, wonderful respect. We're brothers. We love each other and it's sincere and not corny. And it was a great thing to do and a nice thing to do. An interesting thing to do.
Gotcha. I understand that it's going to be another. Like last week, our guest was Eric Kilpatrick. He was our guest last week.
Oh, you had him on there? Okay. I didn't know that.
And he was talking about future things and future readings that they're going to have. So
right, he's going to do a continuous thing with the readings every once in a while, and it's pretty nice, especially in these times when we have to sort of be sequestered in how we live. It's a nice way to communicate. It's a nice way to have an outlet. People enjoy it. It's fun to do it, and you don't have to leave your house.
I was one of the 90 that got in, so I was glad.
Yeah. It sold out quick. It sold out really fast.
Good job.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we had a good time.
Anything else you want to tell us?
Oh no, I'm just doing my thing. I stay busy a lot. I write. I've written a couple of new screenplays. Business still goes on in its own way because you can do the Zoom thing, Skyping, and you still can submit scripts, which of course I do. And I still go out every other day and do my 4-mile, 5-mile walk. I keep it together. And, it's funny. I can't not been able to see the family or the grandkids. So that's a little tough, but, we talk. So that keeps it a little bit close. I need my peeps.
Yes. We got to get you back on the show. Thank you so much.
Anytime, brother. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Big time. You got it, Ron.
Thank you, sir. This is The Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. The studio of Harvey Brandman Photography as an Artist, proud to offer you a $100 discount off any photo package valued at $300 or more. Now, Harvey's been in the business for nearly a quarter of a century, and he certainly knows how to take care of his customers. So please give him a call today at 818-954-9294. That's 818-954-9294. You'll be glad you did. And by the way, please tell Harvey that you heard about his offer right here on The Actor's Choice. Haiku, style, passion, heart. It's the latest release from author and attorney Ron Earl. The book was inspired by the author's first exposure to haiku well over a half-century ago. Now, this experience produced within him a deep passion to experience Asia, which he later did as a U.S. Marine. The book is available in paperback at lulu.com. That's lulu.com. And Irwin says he'll give 20% of net book sales split evenly between the veterans of foreign wars and Vietnam veterans of America. Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule. It's a book by author Larry Buford. It's historical and faith-based account of how what we do and follow today will affect us tomorrow. The author also calls it an adventure for those who want to travel back through time. The book is now available in paperback for only $17.95 from Amazon. So please get your copy today. And now, a word from State Farm agent Carla Green. Roll it.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle? A combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more. Because the State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just 4 walls and 4 wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Let me help you with that. Give me a call. State Farm agent Carla Green, 213-239-9676. 9675. I look forward to speaking with you.
Okay, we're back, Ron.
And now, thanks, Carlin. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. For more information, call 213-239-9675. That's 213-239-9679. Go ahead and roll that one on commercial. Wednesday, June the 10th. More information, contact class at robbrownstein.com or call 323-646-1268. That's 323-646-1268. Thank you. And finally, if you have a product, a service, or upcoming event that you'd like to see advertised on this program, please call 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. Our prices are very affordable. Thank you. This is The Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it.
You called about wanting information on the building?
I did indeed. Let's start with the facade. Was the limestone locally hand-hewn?
No. In the late 1870s, it was actually cheaper to import limestone from Michigan.
Fascinating.
This man belongs in a hospital. Wait. You can't fix him up here. He's my livelihood. I mean, listen, if I get... Listen to me. You won't have much of a livelihood if this man dies. He's got bronchitis.
Big man, coming back here, think you're gonna help your poor old dad? Make you feel better, make you feel like you're doing something right? Well, you fucked up. You fucked up big time. Because you weren't there for your mother when she needed you the most.
Please bless the bowling team of St. Aloysius School. May they all throw strikes for the glory of thy name. And may we avoid the temptations of asking for bumpers.
Ed hates Colorado.
He needs to be with family.
He is with family. We'll talk about this with Ed.
You don't want to be alone.
Why not?
Why
I'm
not?
not hearing anything.
Look at the pamphlet. 95% of the population is happy. Emily, they're happy because we've put them in relationships.
Why wouldn't you want to be a part of that?
You guys hearing me now?
Well, what happens to the other 5%?
Singles?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest hails from Galesburg, Illinois. He studied at Pierce College, has 50 IMDb acting credits. He's also played TV, film, and stage. And as he says, quote, "I love this business, and it certainly beats working as a greeter at Walmart." Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome veteran actor Bob Telford. Bob, welcome to The Actor's Choice. Can you hear me?
Not hearing anything. I'm not hearing anything.
We hear you.
Sure why, but I'm not hearing anything.
We can hear you. We can hear you. We hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
I'll just have to read your lips.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. I like that quote that you said. Looking at your record, sir, you have made a wise decision getting in this business versus being a greeter at Walmart. Not that it's bad, but you got a lot of things going. Okay?
Yeah.
Indeed. Let's see. Back in
Ron, thank you for having me. I got to tell you, I feel a little intimidated having to follow Lawrence.
Don't know why. He's a nice guy. So you are.
From me?
No, I said he's a nice guy, and so are you.
Okay.
We get some good, I got to tell you, I ain't bragging, because this is our 197th show today. We have had some great guests up here. We thank a lot of people publicists, the people who know someone who knows someone. You knew somebody who knows somebody.
Yeah,
who
well,
got you.
it's quite serendipitous, the whole career. So
It is. It is. It really is. We are very proud, very thankful for the content and quality of this show. Okay. Let's see. Your first IMDb, 1977. Your first IMDb film and television actor credit came in as a policeman in a comedy family movie called The $1 Billion Hobo. Yeah, there you are. Is that you? Yeah. Can you hear me?
I'm still not hearing. I'm still not hearing anything, guys. I don't know what's going on here.
Okay.
Oh.
Keep going. We hear you. We hear you. Okay, I hear you. Did you push your volume button? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and continue to see what we can get out of this. You can't hear me at all. Okay, go to the bottom.
Yes. Yeah.
Click on the speaker.
Oh, I'm somewhere in there. Yeah. Yeah. I still can't hear you. I don't know what's going on here.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
I wish I could hear Ron so I could say, yeah, but I can't.
We can hear you.
But I can't see what you're asking me. I don't know what you're asking me.
Okay, when you signed in originally.
All right, guys, I don't mean a problem, but I got volume up all the way. I can hear off of, I can actually hear off YouTube.
Okay. If you can hear off YouTube, then can you?
I can hear you,
okay.
But it's delayed because I'm watching on YouTube as well.
Okay, we can hear you. So we'll go ahead and continue. You did a few film shorts, TV series, and stage work. And then in 1990, you got together with Roseanne Barr for a comedy drama TV series called Roseanne. Yeah. Remember that?
This is good fun. Technology's a wonderful thing when it's working.
It sure is. But you worked for Roseanne Barr. What was that like? Can you hear me?
Ron, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, there we go. I think I might have solved it.
Good.
Whew. I know
you're sweating there for a little bit.
You had me sweating. Are you kidding me?
This doesn't happen much. So,
all right. Let's go.
You worked with Roseanne Barr for five years.
I worked with Roseanne. We did several episodes. My favorite was the Halloween episode because they always had so much fun putting those shows together.
Okay.
And in one particular episode, the Halloween episode, she actually dressed as a man and invaded our guy chat at the pool table in the bar and pretended to be just one of the guys. And it was great fun because she just went along with all of our bravado and all of that. But it's interesting to work with someone who comes from a stand-up comedy background, which is what her background was, because her whole approach is very different than actors in general. And so I found the whole thing quite fascinating, but I had a great time on that show. All of the cast, they're very, John Goodman, all of them, Laurie Metcalf, incredible people, all of them.
It's interesting because I see a lot of actors, they will do either shorts or TV shorts, something short. They don't really work where they have to go out and stick around for 2 weeks. Is that what a lot of actors like to do? You see that in a lot of actors?
Well, I've always joked that my favorite job would be working on an ensemble sitcom over at CBS Radford so I could walk to work, I'd be home in time for dinner, and I'd have the weekends off to spend with the family. So, yeah, that's my ultimate goal.
Okay, I see it. While you were acting, you were a longtime member, of course, of SAG-AFTRA. What's your role in that organization?
Well, I started off just as a member, and then I realized that what a tremendous benefit it was to be a member since 1978. So I decided it was time for me to give back. So the first committee that I served on was the Sag Conservatory Committee, which I ended up being the vice chair. and actually producing for a number of years their summer intensive, which was over 100 hours of classes, workshops, panels, and whatnot. And then I went on to form with another one of the members there, the AFTRA radio plays, which then became SAG AFTRA radio plays, and we would produce and perform classic radio plays over at the Autry Museum. Plus I serve on a couple of other committees that are more business affairs over there. But in general, those two committees were the ones that really, truly allowed me to pay back and to do it in a creative way as a performer. So.
Screen Actors Guild, AFTRA, two great organizations.
Oh my God, I have to tell you, I hate to say it, but I'm very fortunate to have a pension from them. Yes. And, not many people, when I would tell my friends who work in the private sector that I have a pension, they were like, what? And I go, yeah, go figure. I guess after a while you work enough, you make it back. I did so many commercials over the years that the residuals were just phenomenal, and that all lent itself to my monthly check that I get from the pension. So I'm very thankful for that. Okay. Blessed, to say the least.
Right. Now you say you during your career you was let me see, you have a cast of approximately 1,000 commercials.
Yeah, I got the chance to work for several casting directors commercially, and as an actor, oh, what an eye-opener it is to be on the other side. But the casting directors that I worked with, Sheila Manning was one, and several others that, every day we were working on something new, whether it was McDonald's or, Bud Light or one of the car commercials. And it was just, for me, it was just the best education I think any actor could ever ask for.
Okay. We got to roll. Tony, can you go ahead and roll that one on commercials, please?
Uh-oh.
Like I said,
let's
keep going.
When we're on vacation or traveling, we look for Carol.
It's everything else.
Last call.
It's just the light.
Something fishy here.
Never tasted like that.
Have a good trip, Sue.
I'll call you later.
Look at have some chicken. You look weak.
That's simulated sex. And Sally never did any of that.
Wanda had Kelly face down on the table, the kitchen table, and she had a belt and she was using it to spank her.
Let's just get the home equity loan.
A tom-tom and a drumstick.
Here's some great news for the rest of the week. There's orange juice, and then there's Minute Maid, the gourmet OJ.
Okay.
Wow. He did all that?
Yes. Well, that's just begin. That's only 40 seconds.
Wow.
You gave me 2 minutes. I found 2 minutes in there, so we just wanted to kind of squeeze it down a little bit.
Well, thank you for taking me down memory lane.
Oh, you bet. You bet. That's part of the thing. That's one of the things that we like, the philosophies that we like about the Actors Church. It's about taking you back in those days. And when you meet good people like yourself, you say, they did that. This is what they're doing. Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I wish I still looked like that sometimes, but what are you going to do?
I understand. I understand that work. Question about a commercial. As you and I know, the purpose of a commercial is to convince the consumer to buy projects and products, right?
Yes.
But there's a lot of people don't understand. First of all, you start with an idea and you got to work a whole thing. Sometimes they got some wacky commercials on in the world today. Sometimes you see some commercials you said, how'd that get up on the air? But things happen.
Yeah, I was always fascinated when we get the storyboards from the production companies and or the ad agencies. Yes. And I would look at them and I'd go, okay, I guess we can make something out of this. Yes. And our job really was to go out and find the people that could deliver that message. And it's amazing, kids especially. We were very good at casting kids, and children are funny. Some of them just took to it, like a duck in the water, and others were just kind of like, I don't know what's going on, but I'll do whatever you ask me because my mom told me to. Yes. And it's pretty amazing, but you're right. Some of the concepts were pretty far out there, but hey, listen, as long as they're paying us to do it, we'll be there. So
I understand. And they do give awards too.
Oh yeah, the Clio's big time for many years. I can tell you some of the directors that I worked with over the years, just phenomenal. And they had Clio's lining their shelves of their offices. So, those are the people you like to work with, because they know what they're doing.
Exactly. Back to your movie and TV career. 2015, you did another TV series called Parks and Recreation.
Oh, yeah.
And I see that you, like I said, I see that you like to do a lot of TV series and shorts. But this year, you have got one film in the can. It's called Get Bossy. Can you tell us about that one?
Yeah, it's actually a short, and it's based on the group that's doing it had a message with regards to the legalization of marijuana.
Okay.
And how it impacts the community, and how you can, be a business person just like the guy that's selling drapes or furniture or whatever, and you're doing this. So anyway, I played a local liquor store owner who's essentially on the fence about it.
Yeah.
And the gal that comes, she tries to persuade me to join ranks and become a part of the program, and to help them to open up their shop. It's, these short films are quite amazing. The concepts are just, you talk about commercials being wacky, some of the short films are even wackier. So.
Well, guess what, Bob? We just happen to have a clip of Bob.
I run a business right here in Beaumont Shore. It's a parental information gathering outfit.
Is this a real business?
According to my license.
What do you believe?
I believe in marijuana. And you're Mr. CIA man. Nothing surprises you?
Not really. Melissa was my sister. She was innocent and she was killed, and you're missing the forest for the plant.
So Melissa was in a conflict between the Homeowners Association and the Merchants Association.
My scenes with.
Say again?
I said the young lady you just saw there, she's the one that I had my scenes with. She was a joy to work with. See, that's the one thing about this business that I have to tell you, that I am so blessed to have had the opportunity to work with so many wonderful actors, directors, crews. It's a community, and it's one of the things that I truly love versus working in an office in a cubicle and not really coming face to face with anybody else. So I hope that we'll be able to get back to that soon too.
Well, what's your feeling about all these new actors that are showing up? Every time there's a graduation at a school, here comes more actors.
I'll tell you, Ron, the one thing I've always prided myself on is I love the idea of sharing whatever knowledge I have with those that are coming up. That's one of the reasons that I was doing the Sag Conservatory, Sag After Conservatory, because with the conservatory, we were helping to teach the new young actors coming out here. And I'm always, I love to see what they come up with. I love to interact with them. I love to see what they're willing to bring to the table, but I'm also happy to share with them some of my history, some of my knowledge. And I think that's because we're all in this together. So I think it makes us stronger as a community when we have that kind of a relationship.
Wow. What has this pandemic meant to actors so far?
Wow, that's a loaded question. I'll tell you, it certainly has demonstrated to me the fragility of our, being. But as an actor, I found that it has challenged me as an individual to come up with ways to be creative. I know that, I'm a member of several theater companies. I'm a member of a group called We Make Movies. That is just an awesome group. And all these groups have found ways to get around the limitations of sheltering in place. I was fortunate enough to do a play. In fact, I saw you had a guest, Rena Dutt, who directed a play called Defenders. It was written by the same author, Kaylin Harrison, and ours was called Last Swallows. And we did at the end of last year. And I thought, oh man, I just love this. And then we come into 2020 and all of a sudden it's like, we're all shelter in place and can't interact. And it's, what am I gonna do now? Well, as an individual, I found ways to fill up my time creatively, working with other people, and also witnessing what the groups are doing. We can only hope that when we come out of this, that we'll be able to get back to business as usual. It may not be the normal that we used to experience, but it'll be the new normal.
That's what I was going to ask you. I keep hearing that Hollywood says it just won't be the same as a result of COVID-19.
Yeah, they're talking about, there was an article in the Times today talking about how they want to use CGI for background actors. They want to, instead of going out on location, they're going to use video backgrounds and drop them in digitally and whatnot. And smaller crews. They want to, they're even discussing actors doing their own hair and makeup, yes. Which, I mean, you can't mess with perfection here. So anyway, all I know is that
that's your attitude.
Yeah. Well, listen, I've always had a can-do DIY. If I can't do it, nobody can. So you know. But anyway, it'll be fascinating to see how we do it, quite frankly. And I'm hoping for the best. I'm the eternal optimist when it comes to, you know, this business and people in general.
Right. One of the things that I have put together, just want to make sure we get it on the air before you have to leave, because we're running a little short.
Okay.
If you would go to 38, Tony, and we got a bunch of photographs that I put together.
Oh, yeah.
With you and there's the first one. Now here you are.
That was from Last Swallows.
Yes, Last Swallows.
Yeah, it was great family dynamic. This is a good example, Ron, of what I was talking about earlier, being blessed to work. Every person in that cast was a joy.
Yes.
And to this day, we're still all close friends, you know, and to me, that's what it's all about.
Next one.
Oh yeah, that's when I went to see a show at Pasadena Playhouse
yes.
with our good friend Ava Marie. Yeah.
Yes.
I love watching theater. If I can't be in a show, doggone it, I want to go see some good theater. That's one of the things that I am desperate to see return.
Got you. Next one.
Oh, there's
Eva Marie.
Yeah. We work really well together. We've done several projects where we've played husband and wife, and some of them were comedic and some of them were quite dramatic. So, you know, quite honestly, you know, I miss it, and I'm hoping that we'll be able to get back to that. I'm working on a project, as a matter of fact, feature film that I would love to have her play my wife in it. So we're in the process of writing it, and we're going to do a table read here shortly. So I'm looking forward to working with her again, even though if we can't be in the same room, at least, you know, we can be working on something.
Number 41.
41. Ah,
hey, there you go.
Now this was the cast of one of the radio plays that I directed gave me this.
Hey, there you go.
And basically the inscription is Chief MacGyver and creative heart behind SARP. Thank you from your SAG-AFTRA radio players. That is just another example of the kind of people that we get to work with every day.
Wow. Number 42, please.
42. Reading at the Fierce Backbone.
Yeah. Bunch of actors just sitting around, you know.
Well, you know, it's funny. I don't know if the gal in the middle there with the pink sweatshirt, that's Ann Ryerson, who's a wonderful actor out of Second City. She was in Caddyshack. She was Private Benjamin, the series. But these are all wonderful people that I've had the chance to work with, and I just love it.
Okay. Number 43, please.
43. Ed Asner.
Ed Asner.
And I've got to tell you, he is spunky. He is truly a fireball, and I love him.
Okay. Number 44, please.
Oh,
hey.
There's believe it or not, there's a town named Telford, and I have to think it's you know, had something to do with my ancestry, but I doubt it.
And last but not least, ta-da!
That's Bob Telford on the Santa Monica Pier before the big shutdown, enjoying the ocean air, the view. It just every once in a while you got to get out and play, Ron.
Bob, my friend, I want to thank you very much. You're well known, well loved in this industry.
Thank you, and I apologize for the technical.
Please, didn't even have. We're gonna get you back again.
I certainly hope so, and I look forward to it.
Definitely want to thank actress Eva Marie Frederick. She's the one who let me know about this one, that one. And I know
She's a sweetheart. I love her.
Sweetheart.
Hey, by the way, before I let you go, George says, love you too, baby.
All right. Sounds good. Good. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks to our sources, Harvey Brandman, Photography as an Art, Ron Irwin's Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart, Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm Agent Carla Green, and Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actor Space. And much thanks to our guests today, veteran actors Lawrence Hilton-Jacobs and Bob Telford. And of course, special thanks to our ever-growing audience. Be well. We'll see you guys and ladies next time. All right. Got this.